Peace and light, that old guy Australia. How you going? Instagram, YouTube. Here at beautiful Dalmini. If I had the money, I'd buy one of those houses. Maybe. No, I wouldn't. I'd be on the farm. Oh, I've surfed out there many times. See? Out over there. It's bloody dangerous because the rock comes out of the water at low tide and sticks out in the middle of the wave. But surfed there many times. I'll go for a walk up this way. Yeah, I know, the wind's blowing. Whatever. So, what I wanted to talk about today is I'm going to be doing a video this evening or tomorrow, and that video is pretty important because it's going to cover a subject that is close to the hearts of everybody here in Australia. And don't get hung up on the thing about climate change and whatever else, whether you're a follower or a naysayer or whatever. That's not what it's about. But we need to have all activists on board this. It's to do with the Pilliga. My wonderful friend Aisha, who I interviewed some time ago, beautiful lady, and we've been helping her. She was at the Opera House and until they put her off because she wouldn't take the untrialled stuff. So anyway, we've been helping her out financially, some of you people, fantastic. And she's gone from strength to strength, which is great. Now, she's alerted me to something that's going on in Australia and sent me the video, and I'm going to post it in the comments below. Not this one, the one I do later. Now this one, I just wanted to cover a subject quickly that is dear to the hearts of most of us. I'd say every one of us has got people who are, I guess, jabbed or not jabbed, whatever might be the case, you know. But the biggest issue is if you've got someone who's jabbed, they've got to defend their position. They don't have a choice in that. And look, I get that, I understand it. And it's difficult because you can't admit you're wrong or face any kind of truth. The hard part is when they ask you for facts. Now, as you know, and I'm sure a lot of you relate to this, this is where it gets really tricky, when they ask you for facts. Now, I'll give you an example. We're talking about the subject shedding. I've probably seen, I don't know, dozens of videos on this, dozens, from all sorts of experts, all of whom are deplatformed, smeared, debunked, laughed at, mocked, derided, you name it. But I've seen those videos, we all have, right? Now, if you send a video to somebody like that, they then just, all they got to do is Google and just go, the guy's name, Bob Smith. And they go, Bob Smith's a wanker, he had sex with his neighbour's wife and killed their dog, or some shit like this. And so they just write back and go, Bob Smith, a wanker, had sex with his neighbour's wife and killed their dog. I'm not listening to what he's got to say. And these people have spent billions of dollars debunking every single person who would speak against the narrative, and that includes things that they may or may not have even said there, like getting ahead of the curve. They've gone with every kind of scenario, whether it's to do with graphene oxide, whether it's to do with all sorts of things, right? Adverse reactions in any way, or whatever might be the case. They have come up with people to write articles. We've got scientists, we've got, fact checkers, we've got all this kind of crap going on. And they cover every single base. And they write articles and put it out there. And then you know that the media is 95% owned by just two companies. And of course, they're complicit in the whole thing, right? And because they're complicit, that's all they put there. So that's all people can find, is a debunked argument against the narrative. They can find whatever they want to find. So then you suggest, well, maybe if you'd like to try alternative platforms, for argument's sake, like Telegram or BitChute. And so straight away they argue and we go, oh, come on, we know they're the home of the far right-wing tinfoil outwearers, and they publish shit and shite and, all this stuff. So wherever the truth is being published and wherever the truth is being revealed, you can't send them this stuff because they just don't want to hear it. It's like a blindness, and I know it's mass psychosis, I understand that. But it makes it almost impossible. It's like beating your head against a wall and there's nowhere you can go. And so, if they'd have seen the dozens of articles that you and I have seen on a certain subject, dozens and dozens, then they would get an idea that there's not just one bloody crazy person talking about this. got some of the world's most respected scientists, professors, biologists, you name it. But they don't see that. They never get to see it, right? So it gets to the point where you've got to cut your losses. We're just got to say, well, you know what? I hear you, and I hate this phrase, but you've got to agree to disagree and just walk away. Can't deal with it. You know, me personally, I'm not an influencer, so I don't have to answer the amount of, you know, requests for information that others get. But I'm still doing 20, 30 a day, every freaking day. And I'm happy for that, don't get me wrong, I'm happy. I try my best to get back to everybody. But, you know, I still got to go and answer them, and, you know, look, but they've taken the time to write to me, so I should be taking the time to write to them. And that's just how I feel about it. You know, when I get to 600,000 followers, I won't be able to. When I get to 600 followers, I'll be blown out. But anyway, seeing as I started off only wanting 5, maybe 10, and they're all family members. So, you know, it came to me last night, having had enormous discussions with a friend of mine, that it is the most inane conversation, because I can't get anywhere. You're never going to get anywhere. It doesn't matter what you say. And then you take into account that they don't have information relating to the beginnings of this. They don't know who the Trilateral Commission are. They don't know who the Club of Rome are. They don't know anything. They don't even know anything about the WEF. They don't know about Agenda 21, Agenda 30. They don't know anything. They don't know about the agendas. They don't know what's going on. They can't see a big picture. There's no big picture. There's none. We've got a bug. We've got a jab. Shut up and get on with it. That's their answer. I'll give you an example. I'll give you another example. Oh, God. Dear God. We're talking about the protest marches. And they said, oh, come on. The protest marchers weren't marching because they thought the jab would kill you. They were marching over mandates and freedom of choice. And I'm like, that was to me what I'd call arrogant ignorance. First of all, they were never there. They were never there, so they haven't got a clue, right? They were never there. That's the kind of thing. Because we were, and I walked around talking to thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and I knew a lot of the people who were there. We went with a group. To try to explain to me that I don't know what was the purpose behind those protest marches, and try to tell me and school me and educate me on what was going on, is as arrogant as you could get. And I'll tell you why. Because just about everybody who's involved with this, we know about the agenda. We are marching against mandates. We are marching for freedom of choice. But that's only a small part of it. Well, it's a part of it. I mean, it's small, but it's a part of it. But we're marching for our children too, to stop them getting jabbed. You know, we're marching for a lot of reasons, protesting for a lot of reasons. And we all, pretty much nearly everybody, know about the agenda. Know about WEF, know what's going on, they know the reason behind the jabs, what they're supposed to set out to do, what they're going to cause. We know about the virus. We know about the fallacy of the whole situation. We know about the pandemic. So what do you do? I don't know, what do you do? Yeah? I mean, sure, you can spend your time sitting around trying to convince these people, and this person seems to think I have the time to continue to discuss with them, but having no knowledge of the fact that I'm involved talking to bloody 50 other people, you know? Or you can just say, you know what, you're right. I wish you well. I hope everything goes really, really well for you. I hope you get to see your kids grow up. And I hope it all pans out in the end. Because what they don't seem to understand is I don't want to be right. I want to be mocked, smeared, humiliated. I don't want to be right. Because for me to be right is the most horrifying, terrifying outcome on the face of the planet. And nobody wants that. Nobody. You see? So that's what I'm up to. I'll do that other video on Saturday. It is Saturday. Sunday? Maybe this evening. I'll see how I go. But I'd urge you to watch it because it is very, very important. It's to do with the Australia's own and major water basin and what they're doing to it. Okay? Peace and light, the old guy Australia. We'll speak to you soon.